Welcome back to day 2 of our Explainer series. Today is all about one thing, speaking with confidence. We are going to master idioms, phrasal verbs, and pronunciation, basically transforming a dense language lesson into your ultimate everyday toolkit. Look, if you already have a solid grasp at English, but sometimes feel like, your words sound a bit robotic, or maybe you literally freeze up because you're terrified of making a mistake, well, you are in the exact right place. Let's just dive right in. But before we look at any actual vocabulary, we really need to get our mindset right. Don't fear mistakes, fear staying silent. I absolutely love this thought of the day, because leaning into your mistakes is how fluency is actually built. Silence? Well, silence keeps you exactly where you are. Every single stumble is just a stepping stone to speaking with total confidence. So here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start by building your native toolkit, then we'll master some advanced vocabulary, fix those pesky conversational traps, perfect a few tricky pronunciations, and finally, we'll wrap up with a 2-minute speaking challenge. All right, section 1, your native English toolkit. Instead of reaching for those boring direct translations, try sprinkling these idioms into your everyday speech. Telling someone that a new phone cost an arm and a leg immediately makes you sound so much more colorful than just saying it's very expensive. Or if you're up late studying, say you're burning the midnight oil. It just paints such a vivid picture. Honestly, idioms are like the secret handshake of language fluency. Now think about phrasal verbs. Notice how these instantly make you sound way more casual and approachable. Textbooks often teach us super formal verbs, but in daily life, we rely on these two-word combinations all the time. You don't meet unexpectedly, you run into someone, right? You don't examine a new cafe, you check it out. Swapping out formal verbs for these phrasal verbs is literally a massive shortcut to sounding like a local. And you definitely want to keep these native expressions right in your back pocket. They let you react in conversations instantly, without pausing to translate in your head. When someone asks if you want to study together, don't overthink your grammar, just hit them with an enthusiastic, absolutely. If you're hoping for a good outcome, throw in a fingers crossed. These are conversational lubricants. They just keep the whole dialogue flowing beautifully. Okay, let's move on to section 2, mastering advanced vocabulary. Notice how replacing basic adjectives with powerful, deliberate words instantly gives your speech an impressive upgrade. Instead of saying someone is just very careful, describing them as meticulous shows a really high command of the language. If a speech was good, call it eloquent. A person who can do a lot of things well isn't just good at everything. They are versatile. Master just these few words, and I guarantee you'll immediately command more respect in the room. Which brings us to section 3, fixing common conversational traps. Let's clear up a massive grammar trap right now, the classic battle between for and since. The difference is actually incredibly simple once you see it. You use since when pointing to a specific start date on the calendar, like since 2021 or since Monday. But you use for when you are measuring the total amount of time, like for 5 years or for 2 days. Make sense? Here's a very common one, especially if you are translating the concept of family ties directly from your native language. It is super common to want to add brother or sister to specify gender. But in English, doing this sounds really unnatural. Just saying he is my cousin or she is my cousin is absolutely perfect. The pronoun he or she already does all the gender work for you. This one is a sneaky redundancy trap because the word return already inherently implies going back to a previous location. Adding the word back is just, well, it's repeating yourself. Drop the extra weight. Just confidently say, I returned home. It's crisper, it's cleaner, and it's completely correct. And this perfectly illustrates another direct translation trap. In a lot of languages, you literally translate the action to opening or closing a light. But in English, we don't open or close electronics like we do with doors or windows. We simply turn them on and turn them off. Finally, watch out for this tricky verb tense. Since possessing something isn't an ongoing, temporary physical action, you should drop the ing. I mean, you aren't actively in the process of sistering, right? You just state the fact clearly. I have 2 sisters. Keep your stative verb simple. All right, section 4, perfecting tricky pronunciations. Look, English spelling is notoriously strange. Do not try to sound out every single letter. Listen to the phonetics here. We completely swallow the O and the R in the middle. We do not say comfortable. We compress it into a smooth 3-syllable word, comfortable. Try saying that out loud right now wherever you are. Comfortable. Days and months absolutely love to hide letters. For Wednesday, just ignore that first D entirely. It's just WENZ Day. Now, February is a bit of a tongue twister, but it demands that you pronounce that tricky little ru sound right in the middle. Feb-ru-ary. Take it slow, and it'll become muscle memory, I promise. English also loves to play tricks, leaving remnants of old Latin and French spellings that we don't even speak anymore. So remember that the P in receipt and the B in debt are completely invisible when you speak. It is just receipt and debt. Just pretend those letters simply don't exist. And finally, Section 5, the 2-minute speaking challenge. I'm challenging you today to speak out loud continuously for 2 solid minutes, answering this exact question. Why do I want to become fluent in English? Talk about why it's important to you, how it's going to help your career, and the daily habits you'll build. Push past any lingering cold feet. Hey, there's that idiom again. And literally just talk to the room. Before we wrap up, test yourself immediately with a quick mini quiz to lock in what we just covered. Do you remember what getting cold feet means? Or what goes in the blanks for our expensive idiom? How about the difference between having and have? Feel free to pause the explainer right here if you need to, and really test your recall. To make sure you actually retain all of this and speak with real confidence, here is your actionable 4-step mission for today. Review the vocabulary, run through a conversation out loud 5 times, do that 2-minute challenge, and pass the quiz from memory. This structured practice, this is exactly what bridges the gap between just knowing English and speaking it effortlessly. We're going to leave you with this incredible literary spark from Alfred Lord Tennyson: to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Building fluency is a journey of striving and seeking. So I leave you with this question to ponder. What will you do today to keep seeking fluency and ensure you never yield to the fear of making a mistake?